Hello, family and friends. Welcome back. This is another campsite out in Arizona. I'm in Salome, Arizona, near um, near Homoza Road. It's another 14-day area campsite, and straight out there is out there on the horizon, I guess you would call it, is a quartzsite, and to the left is Skadden Wash, where I was. I did a 14-day out there in Skadden Wash, and some of the YouTube guys that I watch are out there right now. So in a day or two, I'm going to go out there and check them out. And then off to the right, way out there, is Dome Rock, and that's where I was last time. And you can see all of these campers that are around me. Not very many. And the road that you're looking at right now is Homoza Road, and that takes people in and out of a 14-day camping area. It goes way out there to the right, and it comes in from the left. I didn't go back very far this time. I'm pretty close to the beginning of this camp area, and you can see how many people are out here camping around with me. Right now, there still are not a whole lot of people out here, and it's usually pretty well packed. Well, it's pretty well packed usually because before that sickness came around 2 years ago, there was 30,000 people out here. So there was quite a few people out camping. I'm trying to do another drone practice, and I'm still a little bit scared to do some real serious drone flybys and fly-ins. So as you can tell, not going very quickly with the drone, and sometimes it goes off the screen, which means that I just quite don't have the control I need to make a real nice video. But I think you're getting most of it, most of the gist of what's going on. This time around, I have the flag up, and you can see how much wind is going on, so that had me concerned with all that wind. And believe it or not, the drone wasn't affected very much by the wind. It did float around a little bit, but you can't see it in the video. If you were on the ground looking up at it, you could see that it was kind of floating around out there a little bit. There's one of my neighbors, and a scan around the park or the camp area, and another neighbor is coming into sight right about now, and we're quite a ways away from each other. And there again is the access road. I did think at one point in time that I wanted to come down low and fly right up into or close to the door that's open, but then I thought, no, I better not. I better wait till there's no wind. And again, the wind didn't affect the drone that much, but when you're on the fly like this, trying to fly a drone, and it's only your maybe 9th or 10th time, I'm sure it's less than 10 times I've flown a drone. So I'm not really that expert at it. At least I'm not going to claim I'm expert at it. And that's where I wanted to go, right into the door, or right up close to the door and look inside. But I thought better of it. So I flew around a little ways away, as you can tell. Right below the drone is the fire pit, and you'll see my chair out there, a table out there. So I'm doing another practice on landing the drone on Top Hat, and this time around I noticed the flag was flying, and if I got too close to the flag with the drone, it wouldn't have been a nice situation. So I was very careful on bringing the drone in and landing. See how I do this time. And by the way, the van is pointing to the south. So the solar panel is getting solar sun throughout the day as it goes from east to west. And it's still generating enough energy to charge both batteries by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's actually more like 3 o'clock, but I leave it plugged in just to make sure I stay up to snuff with the charge. And here I am coming in on a landing on Top Hat, and I was really concerned about that flag flying. The wind kicked up, and the flag went into the props of the drone. I probably wasn't going to be too very happy. Okay, I think I've got it over the top. I'm coming down. Boom! A bit better this time than last time. During the week, my brother Tom sent me this picture. You can pause it, look at it. It's actually a certificate from his flying chapter. They're giving me an award, a thank you award for helping my brother Tom out on painting the classroom, their EAA classroom. I'm very pleasantly surprised and honored that they would give me this award. All right, last week I gave you a tour of the Top Hat. This video is giving you a tour through Mr. White, the inside of Mr. White. Entering, there you see a threshold down here at the bottom. Tom, my brother Tom, designed and made that threshold. I think it's really pretty. Beautiful threshold. Hope this video brings it out right. Okay. Well, right there is my bathroom. Coming over here, when I have the shore power hooked up, there are my heaters. This heater here is thermostat controlled, and it'll turn on and off throughout the night and keep the place warm. And I can use this when I'm hooked into shore power. This heater here is only used when I get up in the middle of the night and it's really cold. I can warm myself up a little bit through that heater. I don't leave it on much more than the time I'm up doing my business. Down in here is a Jackery battery, and that runs the heater and also the refrigerator. Refrigerator is right here. It keeps my eggs and all my cold stuff cold. Bacon, whatever. And you can see a little bit of it down in there. Some cold drinks too. And then this is the sink, kitchen. I'll go over a big tour through that in just a minute. And over here is the control center. This big round thing here is what guides Mr. White down the road. When you turn this wheel to the right or to the left, it makes Mr. White turn right and turn left. It's a really neat device. Down here in the bottom, if I can get to it, yeah, that kind of oblong paddle up and down, that's called an accelerator. It makes Mr. White go fast. And then the one to the left of that makes Mr. White stop. On the steering wheel, I have some controls over here that it's cruise control. I don't have guidance control on it yet though, but cruise control is enough for me right now. And there's some instruments that tell me how Mr. White is doing. In fact, how fast he goes down the road and what the oil temperature is and all kinds of good stuff. Or oil pressure is, and what the radiator temperature is, and how much fuel I have on board. To the right here, that little red thing is with a red square on it. That's my Wi-Fi connection. It keeps me connected to the internet. And there's temperature controls there and a radio, and that's the radio control knobs. Over here on the left is what they used to call a cigarette lighter. Now it's a charging port, and I found this little device here that's really neat. It not only has 2 charging ports on it, but it has a FM transmitter in it, and it connects via Bluetooth to my iPad or my phone, and it will transmit a signal to the radio, so I can have my radio broadcasting XM or Sirius XM music, my kind of music. Over here to the right is 110 volt power, and well, I can't bring it down now because that's too on there, but I can plug it in, and when I'm going down the road and I don't have the Mr. White pointed in the right direction, so the solar panels collect all the solar, I can charge my Jackery batteries with this 110 volt power. And this is my file cabinet, keep all my documents in, my computer, and oh yes, there's Rose and Pete. They're always around watching out for me, checking out the place, and if anybody comes by, Rose will bite them and Pete will just fry their butt. And over here is another file cabinet. Keeps a lot of my electronics, a lot of my extra batteries, and a bunch of extra stuff in there for van life. So let's go back over here and get a tour through the kitchen. And when I go to different venues, I pick up these magnets, and these magnets I've gotten from different venues, Route 66, and we see over here is is upside down. I didn't believe that. Okay, let's turn it right side back up. And that's a garden area of one of the venues I was at. And there's the exhaust fan. When it gets all smoky in here, the exhaust fan takes all that smoke and sends it out the window, an open window. And I've also mercantile. That is Pioneer Woman's mercantile, and I forget what state it's in. Oklahoma. Pumaska? I can't pronounce that. Oklahoma. Went and visited that place too. It's really neat. And that's one of my things I'm doing, is just traveling around, meandering around America and finding all kinds of really neat places to go to. Cracker Barrel there is one of the great places I like to stay overnight and eat breakfast at. And that's House on the Rock. Went and visited that. I have a video out on House on the Rock. And then here's the exhaust fan ducting system. It ducts out to an open window out there, goes right outside. And here's my second Jackery battery. With those two Jackery batteries, I've got power throughout the night with no problem. Now I'll have to show you this a little bit later on, but this is where I keep my bubble, my leveling bubble. I'll put it over here in the kitchen for a little bit. And my bed. And my bed has a few blankets on it. And when those blankets aren't enough, I can pull this blanket over. And this is an electric blanket. If I'm plugged into shore power, I can plug this electric blanket in and keep nice and warm. And if that's not enough, I'll pull this blanket over. And I have two more blankets down in the hole here if I need even more blankets. And then, let's back up here a second. Get back up here. And I have TV. So there's my iPad sitting up there, and I can watch TV or watch different YouTube shows, whatever shows I want to see. And over here at night, it's a good idea to put a cap on your head. Keep it nice and warm, so you don't freeze your head off. And a couple of pillows. And here is my hamper or clothes closet. Keep all my clothes back in there. And let's see if this won't turn on. Yeah, it will. This is my light switch. Let's see if I can get here. Here's the light switch, and it turns on overhead lights at night. If I were to turn that on, boom, turns on a whole bunch of lights. There's some lights there and there, and there's a light in the kitchen. And I can turn it off. Let's see, where's my off button? There's my off button. Turns that right off. And if I don't want that much light, I can turn this headlamp on. I've got a headlamp back here that I can use. And then my pantry is over here. Keep all my food in here, canned food and other goody foods, and extra hats, and paper towels. And my clothes hamper is right down here. And some tissues in case I need to blow my nose at night. And some Cheerios. So what I wanted to show you over here, and it's an interesting little device that that Tom and I have figured out and designed. My stove, well, let's get down here right. My stove is can level, and if I'm parked on a slope of some sort, like maybe a side of a road or in a non-flat campsite, I can take this stove and put this bubble on here, and it tells me if it's level. If it's not level, I can move it like this or like this, and these little dials down here will re-level the stove, so the stuff I cook on top here will be nice and level. It won't, my fluids won't fly out of my pans. And this is a cutting board, which when I have to do a lot of cutting on vegetables and stuff, I can use it. This is my sink, and my water comes down. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's my water. It's gravity-fed water from upstairs. I have a 40-gallon water tank up there, actually two 20-gallon tanks, and I've reduced the pipes down to a point where it's just a trickle out of here, and that's so I can save water. I don't have a big flow of water coming out. The hot water currently is not hooked up, so I don't have hot water going right now. I don't really need it. If I need hot water, I just put water in a pan and heat it up. That'll be hot water. And down in here is where I keep pots and pans. These are all the pans and pots that I need, and this is my cereal bowl. It's from Reese's, and when I went over to Pennsylvania and visited Reese's factory, I got myself a cereal bowl. And then I use this to heat up hot water and use it for coffee. So putting this all back together, I also put this cup here. For some reason, I think this system is leaking, but now I'm thinking it's probably not a leak. It's probably when the sun warms up the pipes in here, it forces water through the existing water area here that's not shut off, and it drips some water down in here, so that stops it. There's my coffee cup. I need coffee, my pepper, my cinnamon. I always put cinnamon on my eggs, and when I wash, I use Dawn Power Wash. It's a nice little system. This is my cold water, fresh water, so I don't have to carry around a whole bunch of bottled water. This has a water, well, it's a Berta water system, and then this is also a Berta, so this is some more fresh water that I might need, and it has a filter in it also. And let's put this back together. Okay, that's level. All right, so my next thing is my bed. Like I say, if I'm parked in a spot where it's not level and my bed's not going to be level, I'm going to be sleeping on a slant or a slope. Well, Brother Doug came across this idea of leveling it. This device right here is a secretarial chair shock, and when you push on the button in a chair, this button right here, where'd it go? Oh, it's way back here. This button back here, when you push it, the bed will level out. It'll go this way, and I have one in the back that'll make it go this way, and I have one up here in front that'll make it go this way. So I have a system that will level a bed all 4 directions, depending on how I push that shock. And there's 3 of them here, and they're situated so it'll push the bed 4 different directions, even though there's only 3 shocks. And I don't have it connected right now, but there is a light rope going across the top there all the way around, and it will turn on and off with this button here. Where's my button? Up. Right here. Push this remote control button and that turns on and off. But right now I'm not connected to shore power, so it's not going to work. And I believe that's a tour of Mr. White, the inside of Mr. White. Oh, one more thing here, I guess, is this guy here. This is my coat closet. It has shirts, coats, and 3 or 4 different coats. There's a few more down there below. So I have many coats here, probably too many coats for what I do. So I should get rid of some of these coats. You gotta minimalize, and so far I'm still figuring out how to minimalize everything. And if it gets serious for being cold out or even hot, I have an air conditioning and heating system up here, and I have an air conditioning and heating system down here, which I can use if the motor's running. So, Rose and Pete, say goodbye. Our YouTube family has had a tour.